Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is actually super exciting. I have never done this before on my channel. This is the first time I'm doing it, but I always wanted to do it. We are taking a break from clothing today and we are going to talk about books. Quarantine has been killing me. And what I mean by that is that doing online school, especially in film school, is hard on the eyes, and I'm sure everybody can agree that staring at your Zoom screen for hours and hours of the day, at the end of the day, I don't want to sit down and watch more TV on my laptop screen because I have been staring at a screen for like 6 hours. So I actually started reading a little bit more, which has been kind of a blessing in disguise. I guess I will use this opportunity to say that my Goodreads link is down below. If anybody wants to add me as a friend, go ahead. I add everybody back as a friend. So if you want to talk about books, if you want to see what I'm reading, why not add me? So in terms of genre, I usually read horror. I mean, if you didn't get that by now, I love horror films. I love horror stories. That's definitely my favorite genre of books to read. I can dabble in suspense, thriller, just a little bit, but they're not my favorite. I love supernatural, paranormal stories. Those are always a lot of fun. I will say my guilty pleasure is young adult fiction. So with that being said, I have a bunch of books to get into here. Don't forget to check out my Goodreads link down below and add me as a friend. Feel free to comment down below if you read any of these books, what your thoughts on them were. I haven't read any of these and I'm so excited to show you what I got. So let's move on to our first couple books. We're gonna start off strong with some soft covers I got. Even though I found some of these at a thrift store, I will try to link where you can actually buy them. I'm going to try to stay away from Amazon if that's totally possible, but I will try to find alternatives for you guys if you're interested in any of these books. So the first book that I got was actually at my local charity shop. This thing is like brand new, not even touched. Like the spine isn't even cracked. It's called Asylum. This cover design is also so pretty. The light's kind of taking it. I hope you can see that. So this is a young adult series. The thing that I love about this, similar to that of the Peculiar Children novels, there are photos that kind of go along with the text that, like, as the mystery unravels. So they use real photos from insane asylums, so like on property pictures and whatnot to go along with the text as you're kind of reading through the series. I've heard nothing but good things about this from my friends. I can't wait to read it. Because I found that one brand new in a thrift store, I went on a website called Book Outlet. If you're Canadian, they ship from Niagara. If you're from the States, you're welcome to check them out. You may not get free shipping, but they're a great source to get books. They have a website and there's like a bunch of selection. They're all used books that they ship back, or they're bargain books, and you can purchase them online through Book Outlet. So through that, I was actually able to get the next 2 books in the series and have it completed. There's the cover for Sanctum. Here is the cover for Catacomb. This is such a cool addition to your library, especially like the spines. So cool. These 2 also came from my local thrift shop. I got them at the same place where I found the first Asylum novel. This was a really popular YA series. It's the Fallen series by Lauren Kate. There you go. It's the one with like the girl and she's always wearing this beautiful black dress on the covers. That's the first one here. It's one of those like supernatural, I'm pretty sure it's a fallen angel. It's like a dark romantic thriller YA. It's probably one of those really angsty books, but like I love it. I love that. Following that, I also got the second novel in the series. It's called Torment. Once again, loving the colors on these. This one's like brand new, hasn't even been read or opened. It's crazy what you can find in the thrift store. So super excited to read this. I will most likely fall in love with the series. I think there's 5, so I would definitely get the next 3 to read. But yeah, I'm really excited to read that as well. Switching gears to more horror, I found this one on Book Outlet as well. I believe it may be sold out in hardcover, but you can definitely find it in softcover. Either way, I will link it to the site that you can actually buy it from. And this one's called Campfire by Sean Sarles, and it's a James Patterson Presents novel. That's the cover there. I'm actually a huge fan of this cover. I love it. I love that. It's so spooky. It says, Campfire is a spooky summer fun for fans of Are You Afraid of the Dark and Scream. So everybody knows I love Scream. I love those 80s slasher horrors. This is definitely giving me 80s vibes. The next book I got was also from my local thrift store. I found it on the same day I found Asylum. Once again, I think this person just donated their whole collection of like books they read once or didn't even open and then were like, here. And I'm like, thank you, I will take that. This is called The Girl from the Well. I've had my eyes on this for a while too. There's 2 books in this series. It's this one and then one called The Suffering. If I love this one, I will probably get The Suffering. It's described as like part Ring and part The Grudge. If you've watched either of those movies, both fantastic films. The originals, of course. So excited about this. And now this next one, I found in another thrift store. It has really cool edges. I love when books have cool edges. I like when they're sprayed, but I don't have any of those today, unfortunately. So this one is called Misfit by John Scovron. Never heard of it. Had no idea it existed, but it's in like great condition. So it's an urban fantasy novel of a 16-year-old half-demon Catholic school student who comes into her powers and explores her heritage, battles tyrannical hell beasts. That sounds incredible. It's like a paranormal, it's a fantasy, and I think anyone can be engrossed in this concept of like a Catholic schoolgirl who ends up being of demonic descent or coming into demonic powers. I think that's a really cool. I think this is going to be a really fun read. This next one I'm not going to touch on too much. It's another YA. I found it in my local thrift store. It's called Linger. Now for anybody that is actually familiar with the series, you're like, hold on, that is not the first book in the series, and I am actually totally aware of that. This is actually the second book in the series. The reason why I purchased it, first of all, I've always wanted to read the series. It's about a girl and a werewolf, so it's like reverse Twilight. But once again, I've heard really good things about it. Not going to read this for a while until at least I get my hands on the first novel, but the cover of this is so pretty. The next book that I got, I found at my local thrift store as well. This may come as a complete surprise to some, but I've actually never read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Everyone has told me to read it. Everybody said I would love it if I do read it, and I am honestly positive that I would. And I actually came across the first one in the thrift store in hardcover, but completely untouched and almost brand new. I have wanted to read this for a long time. I just haven't really picked it up. I don't own it personally, but now I do. This is like the Asylum situation, and where I believe it got its inspiration from. This like found photographs within the text that kind of like paint the story. I love that idea. I think it's weird and compelling. I love those kinds of, that it's different, and I love that. I really admire that. The next one's a little bit of a fun one and I can't wait for this. So I almost never find any manga in like thrift stores or anything. They're usually sold like that. My Goodreads recommended me this manga that I have in my hand. It's called My Little Monster, based on my taste of absolutely adoring Maid-sama, which is so trash, and I know. But I found the first volume in a thrift store, and I thought I'd pick it up and give it a try. Haven't read it yet, because this is my problem. As soon as you pick up the first volume of a manga, you're like, looks like I gotta get the rest of the volumes to finish the series, which, I mean, if it's good, you're gonna want to read it. I probably won't start this one until I return back to work. We're currently in lockdown right now, and there's an Indigo 3 stores down from me, so you know that's dangerous. This one's a classic that I've never read but always wanted to read. It's called A Monster Calls by, I believe it's Peregrines. This I actually found at my local thrift store as well. Not sure if it had a book cover originally, but this edition is just this like branchy. I love this cover. It's beautiful, it's dark, it's gothic. I believe it is advertised as a children's book, but it covers some pretty heavy topics of like loneliness, family. I've never read it, so please forgive me if I'm wrong. It's just what I based off of from the reviews. I think this is a must read. This next one I also picked up at a local thrift store. I don't know anything about it. I read the back cover and I was like, sounds good to me, let's get it. People say the woods behind St. Baby's Academy are haunted, even cursed. So far, 3 girls have gone missing from the school without a trace. But can a person really disappear? This one's called The Little Woods. Price tag's still on it. It's a $6.99 novel, but I got it for even less, so there's that. I'm excited for this one as well. I don't know a lot about it. It's just school students and they're investigating some sort of murder in the woods. There's 3 things that I like. Reading about like university, high school students, death, and the woods. So nailed 3 of those points. I heard about this a while ago, but because of the mixed reviews I was kind of scared to try it myself. But after kind of doing a little bit of reading and digging around, I've decided that this is the book for me. One thing that I love reading about is non-fiction events that have been taken and given a fictional twist to them. So this is one of those books. This is called The Hunger by Alma Katsu. The cover is so cool. You can see that little prairie thing, but if you look really closely, I don't know if you can even see it, but there's like blood right there. You're thinking, what's this about? Well, this is a fictional take on the Donner Party. If you're not familiar with the Donner Party, you might want to pull up a Wikipedia page because it will take me so long to explain. But a long time ago, cannibalism occurred. That's what this book is going to tackle. The other really cool thing, which I didn't even realize until now, because these kind of just slipped out while I was talking to you, comes with this little like pamphlet thing. I can use this as a bookmark, I guess, of some of the reviews on the back. And then this is really cool. It comes with like a recipe board for what it's hardtack, a staple of frontier travelers. It would be edible for a long time as long as it was kept dry. So it's like what the frontiers used to eat, and they give you like a recipe book for it, like a little recipe card for it. I'm like, what is this? And that is all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I know we were doing something different, but I hope you liked it, and I would love to do some more book hauls in the future. I would also love to share with you some of my favorite horror novels that I've ever read. Let me know if you would be interested in something like that. I'm always open for suggestions, and I also don't want to make this an exclusively fashion channel, as there are a lot of other things that I enjoy. So once again, thank you so much for sticking with me. Feel free to subscribe, that really helps my channel out, and I will see you next week.